All right, we're live.
We're
I'm just
live.
a few minutes behind today.
Happens.
This day's just been too funny. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean,
Danny
it's
boy,
lots of
Jerry's
things
old
that
shop.
happen.
Yeah, lots of things can happen.
Yeah.
Auto
Don't
salvage
mind me.
outlaws,
I'm just
twisted
putting a
Mopar
knot in
garage,
my
Deborah's
pistol
living
grip
life.
here. Don't mind me.
Yeah. First responder garage. First responder. I got to tell you, this goes back to probably 2019. And I don't really want to relitigate it, but what I will say is if if you want to watch something good, there is a premiere that happened right before this live, and I figured people probably be chattering about it in here, so my thumbnail dovetails in with that. But there's a guy who, a 60-year-old guy, who's dedicated the last 3-4 years of his life
Yeah.
to hating us. 1,200 videos, and looks like he's gotten caught in a good one. So
Hey,
anyway, if you haven't seen the New Guys Garage premiere that happened right before this live, you should check it out. You should go over there and check it out and come back.
things would make a lot more sense
So
about what
that's
we're
what it's
talking
about.
about.
But I gotta say, people see this, but they don't see other people. Well, maybe sometimes they do, because I know a lot of them will go over there and hang out in lives that are an hour long of just hammering on me and trying to harm our community. And I
Yeah,
don't say anything with all of that. So, you know,
yeah.
eventually, anyway, it was just interesting. I think that's a long time coming, and I think it's hilarious.
It was fun. It's fun to
Twisted
make.
Mopar Garage is headed back to freezing temperatures,
Uh,
and he won't be getting the car out of the track because it's closed. Oh, I'll tell you, that's interesting. Yeah, he's up in Illinois.
uh, I
Let's
got
see.
snow here.
Well, you had snow there in July, I think.
We just might. I can't get away from it.
Mostly old parts and Russ Patrick, Pure Pontiac Garage. How y'all doing? Turbo Tom 416. Turbo Tom 416 just rebuilt an 8-speed automatic, like in the Dodge trucks, like that new truck that Cope has. It's got a
Oh
10
wow.
speed or an 8-speed automatic. And so that's cool. I want to check that out. It's supposed to not have any bands, not have any sprags. So it's got 3 clutch
Ooh.
packs, 3 planetaries, and it looks like a relatively simple design considering it's 8-speed modern.
I
So it's
was
pretty
gonna say
cool.
modern 8-speed sounds just complicated to me.
It does, but this one seems like it has less complication than most would. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm kind
Yeah.
of wanting to look at the power flow of it. It does sound interesting. Danny Boyd has a new world headquarters in a
Ooh.
Civil War era mansion a few miles north of the Ohio River. Well, that sounds interesting.
Oh, that's really cool. Civil War mansion.
Jure Racing, how you doing? How's it going, Ricky? Ricky, how's that 408 coming? New Guys Guitar is here. Mohawk 62, 6% recycled. Get a little bit behind on greeting people sometimes. Just I had to recover from laughing so hard at that premiere that happened right before this live. That wasn't easy. Cope, yes, this thing is on. Yeah, I'm just now back to 8 o'clock. All right, let's see here. Scan forward. Junkyard D, how's it going? The One-Eyed Cat. Yeah, purposefully late today, Don. I had a little bit of something to check out in between. Tony's Hot Rod Garage. Yeah, so there's a video on the channel in question from the premiere before doing this big explanation. Hang on a second.
I pushed a button.
That's
I
all right.
pushed the button and I
There,
shouldn't have.
you have your YouTube browser muted? Yeah, sounds like you do. So there's a big explanation video of the wreck that happened 6 years ago. Yeah, so I was watching it. It looks to me like it went up at exactly the wrong time. So I don't know.
You know, it's a heck of
Anyway,
a
just
field.
funny stuff. But it's funny. It's like people are telling me I don't have time for. They don't want me to spend 1 minute on it. This guy has spent 3 or 4 years of his life, 1,200 videos, just to tear people down. So anyway, it was kind of a worthy news story. It's a pretty big deal. I can mention it, can I not?
Oh yeah, go.
Why not?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
look,
So
if
Nick
you're gonna,
Batman 90, you're lost on the Brian deal. Just go back and watch the New Guys Garage premiere that happened right before this live. It's you can't
look,
you can't argue much with it.
if you're gonna throw something out on the internet, then you know it's public domain. That people can do with it as they wish, you know.
Well, I'm just
And if you know everything's not simpatico, somebody might just come along and tell you that.
okay. So I've got to ask, where did you find the picture? Because I got to tell you, I don't watch any videos over there. I do read the comments occasionally because they jab at me regularly over there. So about once a week, I'll go over and read the comments. But it's unwatchable. How did you figure that out?
Well, I first saw it because I pinned him in a few of my videos with the BNR thing, right?
Right.
Because I figured, he had to come and calm BNR down, right? Well, I guess YouTube just decided, I guess you want to watch this guy, so he started popping up in the browser. And then I saw that, and it's like, wait a minute. So literally the first thing on the top of Google, it's like, bing. It's like, oh, that's where he pulled that from.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Yeah, Dean, I'm really surprised at it. So it's just something you've got to see. And he was asked multiple times to make sure there was no confusion. It's really clear.
It's clear. I mean, I thought it was so noteworthy to see. I actually shared his community post.
I agree. I think it's very noteworthy. I mean, it's one thing to not remember something, but that's another altogether.
It's not the first time he posted that and claimed it.
Exactly. I noticed that scrolling back in the community post. So I mean, I didn't even think anything about it. I didn't even care about questioning it. But I mean, to see that it's completely fabricated, that's just wow. Yeah, especially a guy that fancies himself such a merchant of truth like that.
Well, yes. I mean, it's the internet just brings out the worst in people. Quoted Brian.
Oh my goodness. So it's just kind of I have to snicker at it because I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
People who live to just tear us apart. So anyway, he can deal with that. He can answer for why he made that up. Not our problem. But anyway, I'm glad all you guys are here. This is just this really, really funny thing that literally came up today. I woke up to some news early this morning, and that news didn't get any better for somebody all day long. It did not age
well. Oh goodness. Boy, now I feel bad.
Right, Thumper. I mean, it was very interesting. Very, very interesting. But Uncle Bandus, I remember that username. Yeah, Jason's Garage. If you have not seen the New Guys Garage premiere that premiered at 6:50 p.m. Central Time right before this live, you should just go watch it. Go watch it right now. You might see what some people are talking about. And for those of you who are relatively new to YouTube, you have to realize this guy basically built his channel around hating Uncle Tony's Garage. Before that, it was a channel all about hating Trump, and hating all things conservative or whatever for a very short time. And then it just became, he made Uncle Tony's Garage like his personal antichrist. It was just bizarre. Whatever. But I just thought it was funny that one 60-year-old guy apparently dedicated his life to trolling another 60-year-old guy on the internet whom he'd never met. And this has gone on for years. But the thing, why it's personal to me is he has collected me up in this wreckage for years now too. And Andy Wood and David Vizard, and he's just been doing this for years. And he's gotten people to join him over there, and praising him. And anyway, I just think it's very interesting. This thing could not have happened to a nicer person, getting caught taking somebody else's wreck pictures and claiming them for their own years later.
Yeah.
So,
that's what happens when you get lazy. He slipped up and he didn't cover his tracks one time.
Ed Hayden in the house.
Very good.
Anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen that, you got to see that. We'll remind people as they come in. Yeah, right. But 6% recycle. I don't get that. And the thing is I don't have any hate. It's just I don't know why some of these people hate me or they hate other people in our community for just nothing. But I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I do not understand that. I mean, it just happens, right? Life happens, and is life not exciting enough without making stuff like that up? I don't get it.
And the worst part of it is, I mean, he obviously got hurt somehow. So why didn't he just post the pit? Why did he have to fabricate the very beginning, right? If he would have posted the pictures and said, "Oh, this is what happened," it would have been fine. But why did you have to go the extra mile to try to make believe that you owned some car?
Right.
Why?
Wouldn't it be something if he actually did have a Z06 Corvette and he actually was in a wreck 6 years ago when it actually was a black Corvette and everything, and he just chose to picture somebody else's black Z06 Corvette? Why do that? So it's probably more like trip down the steps or something. And, I mean, you don't want anybody getting hurt. But, I mean, that was wild.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I guess some people don't realize that in the internet age, this stuff gets caught.
Well, the problem is nobody's ever called him out on it. Well, in a meaningful way.
Not till now.
Not till now.
Not till now.
That's not till I came along.
Bad Tree Productions is here, as is Jason Indirect Connection. How's it going? Picking with Pickles here. Good to see you.
Hey, Picking with Pickle. Picking with Pick. He was a spy for me for a little bit. Did a good job too. I can't see any of the chat, so if I'm not saying hi, just
yeah. Nick the Van Man 90 is right. I mean, there are some people who just cannot get with the rising tide raising the boats. So they run around with an auger putting holes in other people's holes, and this is what that guy. And to me, it's very sad. It's very sad that 60-ish years old that's what you spend your life doing to get praise from others, and that to me is just sad.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the posts he makes too. I mean, he will. I don't even want to say it.
No, there's. I'll tell you, he's getting off easy over that Corvette thing. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, no, JB, it's fun. I'm glad we made it to a Friday. I'm glad the weather is happy.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, I washed my riding mower yesterday. Got all the scuzz off of it from the winter. Got all the tubes in the tires. Ugh.
Oh man.
Such a thorn.
Riding lawnmower. That's got to be luxurious. I've only ever push mode.
Well, I push mode until I was 30. And then I got a rider. But that said, I've got 4 yards, and I can ride 2, and the other 2 I have to push. So
Okay.
I still pay a ton of dues with a push mower.
Yeah.
But I have a buddy who has a lawn that's like the size of a large postage stamp, and he has a 72-inch deck Scott's mower. And he says he cuts the whole front yard in 4 passes.
4
They
passes.
charge nothing. It's like this little couple section sidewalk.
Wow.
He works for a mower shop, so to him it's just cool to have a big rider like that.
Yeah.
But it's like almost as big as the wife's car. I don't know why he does that, but anyway, whatever he wants to do. I just think it's funny.
My eyes are all shut. I look like Brian Cabral now. We've got bad lighting over here.
Thumper has figured out the secret, which is you just park as many cars as you can, and that's another 17 by 6 foot space that you don't have to mow.
Well, that's true. If you get the bigger the vehicle, the more space it takes up too.
Thumper, that's exactly right. He has that mower because he can. That is correct.
Yeah.
That's like moving with Richard Pryor. Yeah, Randy Quaid's character's mower. Yes, that's a good movie. I haven't seen that movie in years. That's funny. It's hard to find.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but Moving with Richard Pryor, 1988. Richard Pryor, Randy Quaid, Dana Carvey. That is one funny movie. So, for those of you who do not recognize my guest in the house, because I know we got kind of off to a fast open, this is Dan from New Guys Garage.
Hey, everybody.
And he has One-Eyed Cat. I feel sorry for the Z06. Yeah, me too. So New Guys Garage, he thought about getting in, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, he thought about getting in the No Name 500 last year, and did not, and then had a bunch of shorts take off, and now he's sitting at 17,000 subscribers. So he's got his subs, and is registered for the No Name Nationals.
Yep.
But somehow he kind of got tangled up with B&R Racing and didn't, just treated B&R like most people were kind of afraid to, and that kind of went one way, and then this thing with Cabral, and I'm just kind of sitting back, just going, "Wow."
Well, it's I got a couple notches in my pistol grip here, so far.
Right.
But no, the whole B&R, the whole thing originally started. Hi, you're shaking the whole camera here. I got the kiddo over there. The whole thing with B&R. Right. I made the reaction video to the UTG Bottle Rocket versus Casper race. And he came in and was, doing his thing in my comment section as B&R does, which was fine up until he told somebody else, "Hey, this doesn't concern you. You get out of here." And I'm like, no. My comment section. Yeah, you don't tell anyone to go out of here. If you can't handle it, you go out of here. And that whole thing inspired after that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, some of us just want to pass the buck. We don't want to hear it. We just, and then some people just confront it head on. They see the light on the train in the tunnel, and they just charge into the tunnel head on.
That's right. I don't take no guff from no crazy person.
But it's interesting. So in the end, the people who treat everybody right in the community, it all works just fine. The people who don't, it does not.
No, I mean, if you're gonna post stuff publicly, then you better be prepared for someone to answer you.
Well, anyway, since the land of make-believe has been all over the news this week, let's talk about the land of reality. How is your No Name Nationals build shaping up?
I mean, the car's doing okay. I've realized I have a broken motor mount, So that's probably not helping my performance any. So I got to fix that. Obviously, the engine, I still got to get the heads flowed, right? Because all right, so trying to build the engine, it's always you got to have this done before you can get that done, but you got to do that before you can get this done, right? Well, I have to know what the heads flow before I can pick out a camshaft, and I have to pick out a camshaft before I can pick out pistons because I need valve reliefs to clear the cam. And, it's been cold, so. But I mean, we're working on it. I got the crankshaft. I know what cubic inch it's going to be. It's going to be it's going to be a 327 stroker. The 331 stroker crank, but standard bore piston. So
Okay.
327.
In a 289.
The 289 is the one that's in it right now. The engine, yeah, it's going to be replacing the 289.
Okay.
So,
I want to say hi to Andrew Nelson, L&A Automotive.
hey, everybody.
Saw a couple sneak in there.
Yeah, I can't see. I tried to get comments for him, but then I exited myself. So
L&A says crankshaft for 3 months, get the rest of the assembly. I hear that.
It'll be, it'll get done. It'll get done. As soon as one thing, gets there, then it'll all snowball in together.
Paint namers here: Mohawk, Rich GT350R.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of folks are asking how Andrew Nelson is doing, how his healing is going. Andrew, I hope you're doing well and on the mend. Every time I talk to you, you seem like you're doing better than you were before, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good thing.
Dr. Art is a doctor in the house. He is now.
Nice.
New guys, it will overpower the chassis. What say you about that?
I'm planning on getting subframe connectors for it. Subframe connectors, and then I obviously have to get the drive shaft safety loop. So that's all going to be tie the whole bottom together.
All right.
So it should be fine.
Colleen wants to know if you're live from your camera or your phone.
I don't have a camera, so I have a phone.
Yeah. The camera on your phone.
Oh, the camera on my phone. Yeah. I do everything with a phone.
We have a question for Thumper: how the ethanol brewing is going? Yes, Thumper. I'm curious about that too. I'm glad you're in here. So, How is your ethanol going this season? I know that you brew your own fuel. How is it going? Jay Russell Finch is here. Blue Collar Performance.
Howdy, everybody.
Pinto gets tortured and the doors still line up. Cool. Looks like the chassis will be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Andrew Nelson says he had a surgery. On a scale of 1 to 10, doctor said it was a 9. Excellent, man.
Man, not bad.
Keep making progress.
I figure either the U joint's gonna break or the rear 8-inch diff's gonna break before it'll ever hurt the chassis. So.
Right. I see Rob's Rods and Streetcars here, as is Does Nothing Special. I like that user. That username reminds me. Remember the box, the useless box that you flip the switch on?
Yeah.
And it would open and turn it off and close.
Yeah.
I had a friend who built one of those back when you just got like the plans to do your own. Mm-hmm. He's a 3D printer guy, so he was all about that.
Oh, man. You do a lot of good stuff with 3D printing nowadays.
Yes, it's gotten a lot better. I had him design me a magazine carrier for taking rifle classes.
Oh, yeah?
And so depending on the kind of class you're in, some of them you do a lot of moving, a lot more moving than others. Some of them are higher round count and you're not moving as much.
Mm-hmm.
So for those, I wanted to just get six. I had 6 mags on my left leg in a drop leg holster. I had 6 of them. And so he printed me a box that was about this big. It only weighed 1 pound. It had 6 mags in it. And they were
that's
stacked.
handy.
Grab them out. It was nice. Worked great.
Yeah, creative.
Of course, you were all kind of curled up shooting supine on your left side with that thing. Yeah, it stuck off that far, but
Yeah.
other than that, it was great. It wasn't even bad to run with either. That's what I was afraid of. It wasn't too bad.
Oh,
Shopcat thinks 3D printing could make some impossible restorations possible. Yeah, that's unfortunately probably going to be something we have to do a lot more of in the future is 3D print things that we cannot get anymore.
yeah.
Like, let's say you
Absolutely.
need an A-pillar trim for a car, right? Well, there's going to come a day when they're completely unobtainium. Well, somebody can 3D print one or whatever and texture it and paint it or whatever. That might be what has to happen. Andrew Nelson's got he's got a schedule: 6 weeks no movement, 6 weeks rehab, 3-month muscle rehab. Yeah, that's pretty significant.
That's pretty severe.
I'm glad you're taking care of yourself though and getting on the mend.
Yep.
See, First Responder knows a guy does 3D printing doing the pieces for Dodge Viper interior, right? That's going to be a thing. That will be a thing.
Yeah.
Scanning in 3D or Voodoo. I don't know, not really. I got a buddy who's big into 3D printing. He has his 3D printer, and he's got this big box that he puts around it to control the temperature in there and everything. And he makes some pretty elaborate stuff. He's made some Christmas ornaments that are just wild. And he draws it all up in CAD, and then what you do is to get all those little lines off of it, you hang it up in a box with acetone vapor. So you have a box that has like an inch of acetone in the bottom, and just the vapor off of it gets the lines off of it.
Really?
Yes, just the vapor is enough to etch that stuff. I guess it depends what plastic you're using, but
yeah,
he knows all of it. Actually, that's what we should. I should have him on a live just to talk about 3D printing.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for years and years and years, and knows all kinds of tricks, makes all kinds of stuff. He would be a good one to have on here. Old man in the shop built not bought. Can you register to track for No Name Nationals? Man, I hope not, because I need to get you registered ahead of time. I need to get your car number assigned and printed, and I would strongly prefer you to register at nonamenationals.com prior to that. In fact, I don't really even have a way to register you to track. I did have a couple people the night before register on their phone. I did have that, but my preference would be when you know you're coming to register online. And if you need help with that, I'm glad to help you with it. J. Russell Finch says scanning saves all the design work. Scanning can save a lot of it, but there are things where I'm not completely sure. I think you still need to have a human eye looking over the process. Whoa! Nick the Van Man 90 says Cabral deleted all of his community posts back a month. Imagine that.
Well, I mean, it's not a smart channel like BNR, but yeah, it's a start.
Wow. I wonder why that is.
Boy, it's almost like someone's embarrassed.
Old man's not sure if he's going to be able to make it. I understand, man, but there's going to come a point when you're going to know for sure, and it might be a month out, a week out, a day out. I get it. I get it, man. Just shoot me an email. I'll work with you. I just don't have a physical way to do it there to track, but I will help you. Don't worry about that. I'm glad to help you.
Yeah. And you guys' guitar is sitting about 160 right now.
He gonna make it.
He'll make it.
He makes it in waves and steps and we got lots of guys who were taking off and making some steps.
And if anybody needs music, you can use any of his music that you want to. So.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I thought that was really cool. That was very nice of him. So, in this world where everything is wanting to flag your channels and cause you copyright strikes over your music and things like that, just know New Guy's Guitar. He said, I watched the video. He said he thought about it, and he will allow you YouTubers to use his music as long as you credit it, which I think is super cool. So
I use his music. I know 6% uses it. Junkyard,
and he's got good stuff. He has good stuff.
I mean, that's his talent.
Give him a listen.
Yeah. If you, go to his channel, listen to any of the music. I'm going to create a playlist. Listen to anything. If you want to use anything, just email me, newguysgarage@gmail.com, and I'll get the file over to you.
Hello, Henry's Hot Rod Garage. How's it going? Yeah, it says, but he'll become ultra famous and end up owning all of our channels. Well, not when used with permission. And Thumper is saying to New Guy's Guitar, need to get you in touch so I can get you on my friend's channel. Well, cool.
Yeah.
I tell you, I really wouldn't mind having Thumper on for another discussion about ethanol, because as much as we did last year, that was a great live for anybody thinking about ethanol. I think it would be fun to revisit it, because it seems like we have advancements in more and more people running non-naturally aspirated combinations, and race gas is out of sight. We have more interest in ethanol fuel than ever before.
Oh, yeah.
That new Dodge Demon is designed to run ethanol. So,
even just
100 more horsepower on ethanol.
Even just regular pump gas. Premium's getting up. Over here it's almost $5 a gallon, and where I can go to the pump get E85 for like $2 something, right?
Right.
So, that's my Cutlass ran on E85 back when I had that. Miss that.
Shopcat has never understood why artists or labels go crazy about that. I can tell you, when it comes to intellectual property, a lot of people get burned, and it's a big deal. It is a big deal. There have been artists who've created some great stuff and never saw a dime from it because it's gotten stolen from them. So I get that. I'll tell you, one of the ones that was wildest about IP was Prince. Prince was really, really tight with his intellectual property. And then there are some that go the other way. Like, remember when I think it was U2 that was just freely sharing all their stuff. So, every artist is different. So Shopcat uses a friend's tunes with permission, but his label tagged me. Yeah, and I guess it depends who actually owns it. Andrew Nelson runs E85 and everything boosted. Mohawk says, like what they did to Taylor Swift. Have no idea what's up with that, because, I think Taylor Swift is into music, right? Maybe. That's really, I don't.
I have no idea. Not my genre.
Twisted Mopar Garage says, a few years ago, Racetracks Auto Parts Store could not play any music without authorization from the artist due to copyright. Yeah,
that's even store. Anything you play over the intercom, you have to have something for it. Yeah, you have to. Someone's got to get paid in order to play that stuff. most places.
And I try to remind people as we go through the live, because we have different shifts of people coming and going. If you have not seen the premiere that was dropped by New Guys Garage 10 minutes before this live, which would have been 6:50 Central Time, it's worth your while to check it out. I guess I only care so much because it couldn't have happened to a more deserving person.
It was an honest mistake on their part.
Yeah, I guess I know one thing. I always get confused when I post pictures of me playing basketball, because you know what an avid, basketball, like power forward I am, right? And so I typically put up these pictures of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar when he's dunking, because it looks so much like what I do. And it's just an easy mistake to make. I totally get it.
It's a very easy mistake to make. I mean, when you get up in them older years, you start believing things that,
Oh, yeah. Little girl saying, it's the same picture. Yeah, that was just dying laugh. I kept it together until she said, it's the same picture.
She, I didn't notice, she had to point that out. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Ron English, how do all? Glad you're here, Ron. I gotta tell you, this whole month has been crazy for stuff like that. And you know what? There's more where that came from. I have not been in a mood to deal with it. But I'll tell you, there's more. It's just last year didn't have anything till July. Had a big old storm of it, and it went on, and that was fine. This year we didn't have anything till April, but over April it's just been like stalactites of nuisance the whole month. And I just hope it goes away and just sail on from May forward, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, yeah. People have hobbies.
Thumper says, all those shots of John Force on my community page, it's easy to confuse with my card. Exactly. Thumper gets it. Exactly.
Yeah, that wasn't yours? Oh.
Right. Oh my goodness. Mohawk says, remember Napster Metallica? Oh yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. That was a landmark intellectual property thing. They wound up prosecuting, depends on how you look at it. A lot of people over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ignored it goes away, give it airtime, gives it more life. I ignored this for about 3 years, and it did nothing but get worse. But I'm still ignored. Dan took care of it pretty well, I think.
Well, it's like being a parent.
I agree.
You just got to go in there and go, hey, you can't do them anymore.
But I got to tell you though, it's not when they go after me; it's when they go after our community, and they put a blanket term on us. That to me is not okay. That's where it bothers me.
Yeah.
I know one thing. I am really excited to see that blue Pinto running in Sikeston. I am so excited for that.
Yeah, right.
And there's one of my favorite usernames in all of YouTube, Frank McCart Rivet in F100. I don't know which rivet he means, but every time I see that, I think of one of the rivets that puts the spring hanger on the frame. Every time.
Oh, yeah.
That's the rivet I think of.
It's a solid rivet.
38 POS Racing says, I expect John Force anytime Thumper pulls it. Yep. Yeah, agreed. I want to see Thumper do his John Force burnout. That's what we need to see.
Yes. Yes.
We'll see Thumper doing about 150-foot burnout. Thumper says, say F100, and I think a fighter jet. Awesome. So, yeah, the administrative world has been very interesting this week. Very interesting. A lot of it's just nonsense. So, but we got to do. We got to do.
Yeah.
There's some fun stuff coming up. So the preparation for this event, the season is.
Okay.
There's no real off season, right? So we go all the way through the event, and then there's all kinds of stuff that happen right after the event, and then typically we can take a breather from there to Thanksgiving. But last year, people were having so much fun talking about it. I get that because it was a blast. But then everybody's like wanting to get a jump on builds, and they're planning through Christmas and everything, right? But we had a lot of stuff to get pinned down. Like literally, I had to go track down and talk to Larry Jeffers at PRI over getting our date finalized. I mean,
wow.
because he was all completely consumed in purchasing the IHRA.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is important, right? So it was all good. It was fine, but that's the kind of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Well, so we announce it. There's a huge flurry. Like for the first month, it's just, you just wouldn't believe. Like, I had my phone up, when we did the announcement live, you just hear it go ding, 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 that was how it did for the first year's registration. The second year when it hit midnight, I think I was live on someone else's live and the whole phone screen was covered in registrations. There's about a month from that. But I need to get through here in about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks is where I'm really going to have some big things hitting. Some big budget things. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Lots of
big stuff. I can't believe I missed out last year. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to do it all by myself last year. I didn't even get like really into the community that much. I just heard about it. It's like, oh, well, I kind of want to go, but never made it. I mean, if you want to do this kind of stuff, you got to really get involved. I mean, it makes it way easier. Yeah.
Twisted Mopar says Bandimere will close this year. Really? Is Bandimere in Colorado closing after this year? I did not know that. That's really interesting. That's a 6,000 foot track, or close to it. It's almost 6. It's over a mile.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, family sold the property. Oh man, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Thing about it is it seems like dragways. They get gone and then they don't build new ones at the same rate the old ones get gone, and it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, it's definitely dying.
Yeah, 6% saying the same. I heard the family sold the land. Yeah, I never got to go there. Like to have. I was reading, so I have David Rear's engine books on upper and lower engine assembly, and I was reading some of his thoughts on how to tune for altitude. And it's very interesting how he thinks about tuning and what he doesn't do with the jetting in the carburetor. I thought that was really interesting because you have less pressure pushing down on the fuel in the bowl.
Yeah.
So he does his high altitude tune up in a little bit different way. Anyway, I need to reread it because I read it many, many years ago in passing, and I thought that was interesting. One thing he did say is, I remember, whatever the weather station says, make half that change, because most people tend to overcorrect and chase problems from the wrong side. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And he used to have an article on the NHRA's website years ago, and I think it would get printed in National Dragster, but I would read it online. And this was in the 90s at Virginia Tech. I was reading this. This is back when the internet was like a new thing, right?
Right.
I got the internet in 96. And so I could read them on there, and they were just plain text articles. But he had some this is what I was doing instead of doing homework, right? But he had some great articles on things like valve springs and stuff like that. So I enjoyed those, but he had a different high altitude too. I think it would be neat to dig that up, and if we had opportunity to get to that much altitude, do some experimentation with it. You need to do it with somebody like just Mopar Joe, who's got something that's so consistent. It's just like to the 100th, right? Because he's the kind of guy that can move to a whole different altitude and really do justice to the tune. Or Twisted Mopar Dennis. He's a good bracket racer. He would understand the difference in the tune better than I would, right?
Right.
Just to get my stuff running.
You get her close and you send her, you know.
Ron English looking for Don. Don was in here, but I don't know about Don. I know we have Dan. So for those of you who are just getting here, we have Dan from New Guys Garage, and I figured people would have checked out his premiere that premiered right before this. If you haven't, go check it out. It is very interesting. I look at him. He said he was in here asking about it. Nick learned that most cam companies are less than truthful or unknowing about valve springs. Well, I tell you, it's interesting that you say that, because David Vizard has maintained that a lot of cam grinders don't understand valve event timing. Mm-hmm. And I can certainly believe that. Okay. There are a lot of people who can grind a cam who might not understand the science of the valve events. It's not the same thing, right? It's like you got guys who are good gunsmiths who aren't good operators. And you have guys who are good operators who can't work on guns. Gun people are not just gun people. Car people are not just car people. Like you have people who can paint cars and can't tune them. You have people who can tune cars, can't paint them. There's different specialties.
You have people behind the counter who can type on the computer what's the make and model. It's like I don't need that, just because someone has a job doesn't mean they're necessarily good at the job.
Right.
Yeah.
I went into O'Reilly to get a spool of 10 gauge wire, and I had somebody ask me what make and model.
Yep.
I should have told him a Cushman or something. I should have told him a 1981 Citroen. I think, fun fact, I bet you could make an entire Citroen wiring harness from a spool of 10 gauge. Probably the whole car.
Yeah, maybe. I've had such bad luck. When I had the Cutlass, right, it was an Oldsmobile with a Chevy engine. So you go in there looking for anything. Well, what is it? Well, it's an Oldsmobile Cutlass. What size engine? 406 small block Chevy. That's not an option in here. You don't say. Why don't you just it's right there. I can see the thing I need right there. Just grab it off the shelf, please.
So I needed a bolt for the factory battery cable in a 1985 Dodge B150. And I went into AutoZone down here. And the guy at the counter told me, we can't look that up.
Yeah.
We can't look up specialty stuff like that. It has a year, a make, a model, and every one of them came with one. It's a battery bolt, but it's a little bit different, right? You didn't want to look it up. That's the same AutoZone that I went in asking for high pressure fuel hose one time. And the girl behind the counter asked me to come back there and look at the rolls of hose to tell me which one, and then roll it out and cut it. And then she got someone to help her with the part number to ring it up. I did everything but ring it up.
Boy, you're pretty good at that. You want a job? I went in. I went in O'Reilly's looking for a vacuum gauge one time, and you know how they just have it right there, right behind them. Guy's sitting here trying to look it up. I was like, just look, it's there.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. What'd you say it was? It's like that. It said it's
Okay.
that.
This was great. So when I went in there asking for the 10 gauge wire, I also asked them, I said, so if I'm replacing a fusible link, do you have anything that says what the amp rating should be? Like if I wanted to put a fuse in there instead of a fusible link.
Mhm.
And this guy said, well, he says the alternator is 60 amps. So just to be safe, you could use a 100 amp fuse. I said, yeah, that would be safe for the fuse. I
Yeah,
mean, the fan will burn down, but it's safe for the fuse.
the fuse won't pop.
No, the fuse won't blow.
I think you misunderstood what the fuse's job is.
Well, I guarantee you, though, he's right. The longevity of the fuse go with 100 amp.
You won't need warranty for that fuse.
It's interesting. I don't blame them. I mean,
Hold on. They're
they
just there for a job,
right, exactly. But it's
Yeah.
just the whole art of the parts counter is interesting. Oh, Andrew Nelson says, own a Studebaker, talk about a parts store clerk meltdown. Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
They probably think it's an April Fool's joke, that make you're talking about. They probably don't think that's a real car.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you, the Napa that was down from where I went to community college, they are the ones who got all the goofy stuff. Like the new guys, we would say, hey, when you make your parts run, we need a muffler bearing, that kind of thing. And literally, some of those people, we'd have them ask in Napa for a muffler bearing, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I guess that's the downside of being the only parts store near the auto shop to community college.
Yep. That's what
Rob
the
was an assistant manager for an Advance, and wow was all I have to say. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair though, I'm the department manager of produce section, right? I couldn't tell you what you use bok choy for. I can order it in, but I just because I work at produce doesn't mean I'm a chef and I know what all this stuff
Yeah.
is
Right.
meant.
Something garages. I go ahead and tell them that Ford made the Gran Torino. Yes.
Yeah.
Pilot bearing hole stretcher. Danny Boyd says.
Ah, expensive. Expensive.
Yeah, Junkyard D's got a bunch of makes put together there. Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm. It becomes impossible once you got any sort of swap or anything. It's just they can't type it in. They don't know.
Thumper says, Dan, you can make ethanol from the spoiled taters you throw out.
Well, yeah, I could. That's why you got to get back on with John so I can learn how to do that.
Yes, you could probably make prison wine with them too, I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I'd be that invested in it, but
Chris Fixit did a April Fool's Day video, did a muffler bearing video. Yeah, I could see that.
yeah,
Colleen says, yeah.
I didn't do anything car related for my April Fool's video.
Yeah, I didn't. I did an April Fool's thing for Dallas and Buck, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Brewer Racing is here, and something Garage did sneak in earlier, but Brewer Racing is here. Yeah, they just want people for the computer, which is true. I guess it's just. I guess you would have to pay people more than they can justify for the amount of things that may not work out. I mean, I guess that's just kind of the way it's going. So it's a business decision on their part, and I get that. But I'll say this: the place that sells power equipment like mower parts and stuff here, It's had the same two guys working the counter as long as I can remember. They've both been there a very long time.
Wow.
And I'm assuming they're paid enough to keep them there a long time, right? They have a
Well,
lot of experience. So when you go in there needing parts, you never have that problem of not knowing what you're looking for, not understanding it.
mhm.
You know, when I walk out of there, I always walk out with the right parts. And it's great. It's refreshing. It's the only parts place in town like that. So Mike Ivan said, I liked your spacer video. I'm not sure who he's talking with there. I think the wood. Oh, okay. I think the wood looking material might be Formica. It is used as thrust washers and torque converters. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's some sort of wood laminate composite, something or another. I got it so long I don't remember what it is.
Twisted Bopar said that's in every aspect of different big companies. Yes, that is very true. Like fast food, yeah. It's the way it is now. And I understand that.
Yeah.
So Nick had his engine on the dyno. His engine made peak torque at 3,700, peak horsepower at 4,700. He said, this thing is going to be a passing gear hero.
Yes, it will.
But those are real numbers. He's got real numbers. If you haven't seen it, go check out Nick the Van Man 90s video he did on getting his 305 dyno. He did a real world budget build with real numbers. The kind of engines most people don't put on a dyno. But what he shows you is a very real world set of numbers.
Yeah, I want to get in touch with a chassis dyno. I want to get working with a chassis dyno to do some testing with, because I think that'd be pretty interesting.
So my buddy that does the 3D printing for a while, maybe a year, there used to be a chassis dyno out here at Westlake at Smith Mountain Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked for the chassis dyno, and it was in a mall area. So there was a movie theater and stuff like that, and in that building there was a chassis dyno, and he worked there, and it was neat. I never got up there. He did put his car on it. He's got an 82 or 3 Camaro with an LT1, and he put it on it.
Okay.
Chassis dyno is wild because you realize how much your drivetrain eats out.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's why it would be interesting, right? Because at the end of the day, on the chassis dyno is what you're really, looking at. Yeah, that's the number that matters the most to you because that's what you're experiencing. I mean, even just from day to day.
Blue collar performances, dynos are heartbreak machines.
Yep.
Can be. Yep. So Nick said he got within 5 horsepower of what it made. Well, good. Cool. Nice. But he had very real world expectations of it. Mostly Old Parts and Russ is not a fan of dynos. He said they're good for reference, but weight and mile per hour are the true indicators. Fair enough.
Well, yeah. I mean, the dyno is not the end all be all by any means. I mean, personally, I think carburetors are misrepresented on dyno. All right. See about this, right? On an engine dyno, they put it to full throttle, right? Before they start the pull. And then, they measure throughout the RPM range. But on a carburetor, that completely eliminates the pump shot.
Yep, sure does.
So if your if you run lean somewhere and you can't, because a lot of times it'll run lean one place, but they can't fix that one place. So they just have to stop the tuning process. Well, I bet you it's the pump shot that they're missing that they could actually, you see what I mean? Kind of, sort of, maybe, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason's Garage says someone took down their community posts, all of them.
All of them?
Can't imagine who that would be. Oh my! But so Nick says after my swap's done, I'm having it dynoed on a chassis dyno. I want to see what the $700 Ford, the 7.5-inch 10 bolt really eat up on that. Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Dyno's great for tuning. Yeah, a dyno's is good for tuning, but there's things it doesn't show you, like with drivability, like the pump shot. It's a perfect example.
Exactly.
Because you're already wide open and loaded when it starts.
Yep.
And the dyno itself will determine the RPM at which the engine comes up. And some of them come up at 500 RPM a second. Some, like just Mopar Joe, his dyno pull was 600 RPM per second. That's fast. Most of them are 200 or 300 RPM per second.
Yep.
Joe's 6. From what I've heard, and I don't know anything other than just having heard this, is that you get a more accurate representation when you bring it up quicker like that, because that's more what it does in the engine.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the faster
300 a second.
Yeah, the faster you wing the motor, the less power it really makes, because you're fighting the rotating assembly trying to get it to get up to that RPM.
Yeah, Nick says his runs were 300 a second. Yeah, right. And that's pretty common. 200 and 300 are probably the most common. But like I said, Joe's was 600, and I've seen 5, I think. So, yeah. The dyno does tell you a lot of stuff, though, especially if you don't have a good way to tune air fuel in the car. Some people do, but Colleen says, too bad I'm on a dinosaur computer. I could have pulled up the video for all this way. Now, y'all do that on your own time. I just, so, I'll just say this. I'm a YouTuber like you guys. I'm a participant in this stuff like you guys. And so when people treat us like we're a public figure, like we're just some, public figure, we're not human, that to me is not cool.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who do that. I've seen one in here tonight. I see how he talks about me all over YouTube. Comes in here tonight, socializing with everybody, because it's like, it's like my life is a public park for him. I don't think that's cool at all, but he does.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just people. It doesn't matter.
But the thing is, saying stuff about me is one thing, but when a person says this whole community just must have charge cards and money trees, and they must just get government assistance and not work to be able to go to things like the no-name nationals, and that's just totally uncalled for. There's a lot of hard-working people in here that earn everything they have, and so I just don't like reading things like that.
I mean, if money grew on trees in my neck of the woods, that engine would have been done a long time ago.
Right. Professor Harbor Freight has a good teaching job. That's
yeah. Go to work.
So anyway, not just to burden you guys, but I don't have anywhere to vent. And so, I know a lot of people don't want me to vent on Friday because this is the way they wind down. But for me, this is all I have. But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Nick says I've been scraping and building them. Exactly. And that's what, what I'm saying? That's the thing.
One piece at a time, a little off the paycheck every week.
You got it. Blue Collar Performance was a collector car auction. Surprised how many people recognized him. Yeah. Dust Devil Garage lives paycheck to paycheck like everyone else. Yep. Dust Devil Garage is a warrior. He's a make it happen guy. And that's just, it's cool.
Yeah.
Now, Junk Car Willie, I try to make this as fun as I can for everyone. But here's the thing. So you guys see me for 2 hours a week here. Okay, then there's 166 other hours that you didn't see me this past week. I wasn't on anyone's lives this past week. You know how I know? Because this number right here, Twisted Mopar works for what he has. Yes, I agree. And that's the thing. That's why I don't like comments like that.
Yeah.
You know, casting aspersions on you guys. To me, that's what's not cool. This is the best community on all of YouTube of any kind, and that's why I don't appreciate that kind of stuff. But anyway, Smoke Wrench Garages, I think I'd benefit from an O2 sensor to help tune my carb. Yeah, I got to tell you, I was always a read the plugs kind of guy, but Andy Wood has got me thinking I really need to use because I think it takes both. Okay, it takes both, but
yeah.
the wideband O2 is where it's at, and Andy uses one. Dallas uses one. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm getting one put in. I had to make it look old though, because I couldn't have a newfangled thing looking in the car. So I had to cut up the gauge with an old gauge and make it look a little old at least.
And by the way, Nick, yes, I got a couple calls into Mr. Paris there. So I figured that was your doing. Blue Collar says 100%. I weld mufflers on for a living and build within my budget. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, community's been amazing. Yes, Junk Car Willie says, I've never been mistaken for Rich. Junk Car Willie is a warrior. He has a fantastic story. Really, he does. That guy is a make it happen kind of guy.
Yeah.
To see him there at Sykeston and know what all he had to do to make that happen, it was one of the most impressive stories all year. Yeah, Blue Collar says, I swear by the wideband and read plugs to make sure it's working. Exactly. Straight up. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Collar Performance is legit. He is legit. He's the kind of guy when he posts comments, read them, pay attention. He knows what he's doing.
We got a lot of smart people in this community.
We sure do, man.
We're smarter than I am.
Don't we? Jason started out as a muffler man. Yep, yeah, right. So John Cope, and I guess he'll do video about this. He's pulled the transmission down, doing some stuff in his truck, but only a transmission guy would do this. When he routed his exhaust in his Power Wagon, he routed it over the transmission. Only a transmission guy would do that, right?
Yeah.
But he did.
Wow. Over the transmission.
Yes.
That's a first for me.
But that's a transmission guy, see?
Well, yeah, so you can get...
Yeah, right.
He knows he's going to be tinkering with it, so he wants everything out of the way. Makes sense.
Makes complete sense. It's like when you see an electrician's house for sale, you see the breaker box. Oh yeah, this guy's an electrician. You just know, right? You can tell by the labels and the way everything is run and the conduits. You just know.
Yes.
So you're going to hit the track in May. What, the 16th?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Depending if you know, he'll show up though. I have faith in this man. Me and BNR Racing, we're gonna with his truck. We're gonna go down the drag strip. We're gonna see, who beats who. I never claimed to win, so
yeah.
Hello,
Dakota.
They'll be live.
Yep. Yeah, I'll tell you, I if BNR is being cool and being happy, I'd love to see him come out and participate and meet him and all of that, right? All of that's great. Just got to be that, and
you gotta leave all the others.
Know which BNR we're getting. Yep, Thumper says it might seem like I have money, but I've been doing it a long time for 40 years and scrap up and save. Yes, agreed. Dakota, if you have not seen it, there was a premiere done on New Guys Garage 10 minutes before this live that is very interesting. I highly recommend you watch it.
Yeah, it's eye-opening.
And from what I've read in the reports and the comments, the community section on that channel has been cleaned out while we were been live. From what I heard, I don't know.
Which is just a shame. Just a real shame.
Blue Collar's been a mechanic for 29 years. Doesn't miss muffler work. So 6% is saying his video avoided the fake picture issue and focused on the drunk driver. Well, I'm kind of focused on the fact that it was a lie. That's kind of, and a completely unnecessary one.
Well, yeah, I
can
can
ignore that. To me, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, he muddied the message with unnecessary things that just.
So the thing is, if you're willing to just take someone else's picture and stick in there and claim it for yours, and you're asked about it and have multiple opportunities to correct and say, oh man, that's the wrong picture, or oh no, that's not really all, and you don't, and you choose not to, it's like so to me, yeah.
Well, then you're trying to gain sympathy from somebody else's disaster. Yeah. I mean, their pain, their losses. I mean, you're belittling their actual incident.
You know what?
Trying to claim it as yours.
I'm glad Jeff Allen escaped more serious injury than he had.
I know.
Hate it for Jeff Allen that he lost his Corvette.
Exactly.
It was a drunk driver that hit him. But I still don't wish anybody any harm. I hope that driver did recover and has made better life decisions than driving drunk. All of that, I just, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to just pretend like it's an honest mistake to lie about it like that.
No. I mean, you can't steal somebody else's life, somebody else's scenario, somebody else's loss, and try to claim it as your own just for what? Just to make it look like you had a Corvette? Why?
I mean, I do feel bad for Cabral. I mean, clearly he's got a little bit of a following now because he regularly does these videos. But I'll tell you, I think that surely those loyalists over there are going to watch your video and say, well, now, what can we believe?
Well. They'll watch my video and they'll still defend them. They'll still defend them. But if I was Brian Cabral, right, and let's just pretend like there was a reality check with this whole thing, right? And he sees that his followers are defending him through this whole thing, even though he knows he did wrong.
Hey,
is that the kind of people you want to be surrounding yourself with?
Hey, Nick, my father earned a Purple Heart. And he got some VA disabled for it. He earned his Purple Heart. So when somebody else said they got one and didn't, I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tolerate stolen valor very well at all.
No.
There have been too many people who've died face down in the mud to give us this country we have for other people to tread to profit on their backs. That's just not okay at all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they faced the actual scenario. They bucked up, they manned up, and they served their country, right?
I mean, that's
and for someone to try to steal in that glory is just.
Danny Boyd said his dad got drafted and got in trouble for fighting. My dad got drafted too. He got drafted. He did serve 2 years. He did one of them in Vietnam. He was in at least 4 major engagements. I mean, when somebody lies about all that because it sounds good at a storytelling a bar, that makes me mad because there's other people that they're stealing from and profiting off of what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy who like say some guy runs to Canada to avoid the draft. And then they just come back and say, well, I'm the right age. I'll just make it up. And that stuff happens.
Yeah, it does. It certainly does.
know if you guys in here, if you've heard of Don Shipley. Don Shipley is the world's foremost authenticator of Navy SEALs. So when the Chris Kyle thing, when that big incident happened with Chris Kyle and the movie and all of that, there was a surge in people who were pretending to be Navy SEALs, like hundreds and hundreds of them, right? And they steal. They steal from the rest of us. And not me, but they steal from everybody. And what I was thinking of when I said that, one of those fake Navy SEAls is a guy named Arthur Obus. And he was a firearms instructor in Ohio. Well, I'm a firearms instructor and a real one. And I've invested a lot in my training. And so when you got this guy just claiming to be a SEAL so that he can, have some kind of mic drop resume out there to get clients, that's stealing from me in that little way. Doesn't compare to how he's stealing from all the SEALs and the people who served in the Navy and other branches of the service. It's just not okay.
Life of being a parent.
Yeah, my uncle did 4 years in the Navy, and he caught out with one eye. How do you think he likes somebody making up service?
Yeah.
Does nothing special. Said his uncle volunteered 2 tours of Vietnam, 2 Purple Hearts, and a Bronze Star. Yep. A lot of guys fought hard, and a lot of them didn't come back.
Mm-hmm. It takes actual guts and bravery to go do that stuff.
Barrows says, I got some news about my dad. I might have to change the build and dedicate this one to him. Going back to the car he built when he got home from Vietnam. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Do it, Kim. See, when I see Kim, I forget that Barrows' name is Kim because we have a Kim Fixes Things. And I always think, did I miss somebody in the chat? Because it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick the Van Man 90 says, everyone with an NRA instructor certification thinks they're Richard Marciano. Let me tell you, the NRA instructor certification is a checkbox. You need to have it so you can get insurance and stuff like that. And Virginia recognizes those credentials to teach for a permit. The NRA instructor stuff is like 1% of my resume. Okay, so it's a piece of the puzzle, but it's far from everything you need.
Mm.
6% Recycle lost his dad several years ago and has his Purple Heart. Take care of it. So anyway, it's been a very, very interesting week, to say the least. Kyle Barrows, Little B.
All right, it's been a fun week.
So Miss New Guy's Garage there, I sure enjoyed your part in that video. You made that video,
Yeah, the video we did today.
You made that video. I'm seeing he deleted his channel. Are you putting me on?
No, wait. Somebody's got to confirm that.
On?
That would be the second person I made delete their channel, if that's true.
Are you putting me on?
Somebody's it. John, you got to look that up. You got to find.
I'm doing it now.
That would be, well, I'm going to hold all comment until I know one way or the other.
Boy. Well, you know what? Believe me, there was actually a little bit more where that came from, but now it looks like it's unnecessary. So
yeah, it seems to be a mute point now, doesn't it?
Apparently, he doesn't want to answer the because there was a video that was put up right during the premiere. He must not have known about New Guy's video, so he made this video talking all about the wreck and I guess that was kind of ill-timed.
I'd say go watch it, but well,
Oh, wow.
it's not there anymore.
So looks like a 1,200 video channel dedicating to hating our community and hating Uncle Tony's Garage and me and Andy Wood and Vizard and all of that is just vanished now.
If anybody has a troll that they're looking to get rid of, email newguysgarage@gmail.com.
Wow.
Wow. See, and you know what? I'm just going to say it, right? When somebody goes to that extreme, deletes everything because of one video calling him out, that is just mindless right there.
So here we go. You have a suggestion that was on my page and there's nothing. And when you go to it, there's nothing there.
Well, that's right.
Gone. Oh, well.
Sorry to see him go.
Lynn, I think that was put on there. I think the one you're talking about was the one explaining the wreck, not knowing that it had already been debunked before he did that, I think. Because it was about the same time. I don't think he could have done that in response to Dan's video.
Well, possibly, because it was premiering for, an hour. And the thumbnail made it kind of clear.
You never know.
But,
Well, I'll just say this. I don't wish the guy ill. I wish him happiness in his life. I wish that he could be happy with his family and friends and all of that and just have a happy life, really.
Yeah, it's
Danny Boyd, I don't take any credit for that, but I'm also not gonna. Hey, it is what it is, right? So I hope that he has peace and does something productive with his life and gets out of the hate business and all that, and that's a good thing.
I think getting away from YouTube is going to be good for the guy because I think he's just tunnel visioned into this hate.
No.
In the world, are you?
It was referencing a live stream, not Dan's video. He might not have known what it was about. I don't know. But anyway, hey, his channel's deleted. I'm content to move on. Really.
She's done now. Hey, now.
But anyway, you were great in that video.
Talking to you. You did good in that video.
That just made that video.
High five. Hard to don't break my hand.
We could replace your dad with a bucket of sand and a stick in that video, but you're the star.
Well, yeah. Well, that's kind of rude, don't you think?
Danny Boyd says Roadrunner. You know what? I had a couple of. I always get this wrong. So which is the religion that sends the guys to your door that have the black slacks and the white shirt, the black tie, and the backpacks? Is that Jehovah's Witness or is it Mormon? I'm not sure which. Anyway, a pair of those guys stopped by and asked about the Roadrunner. Mormons, Thumper says. Latter-day Saints. Okay, I wasn't sure which. That sounds right. It was okay. See, now Jason says Jehovah's Witness and Junkyard D says Jehovah's Witness. So now I don't know which it is. Nick says Mormon. Danny Boyd. Okay, we got 4 votes for Mormon, 2 for Jehovah's Witness. It was one of those. They were very nice. They were both very young. They were digging on the Roadrunner. They liked Bear Roses, I sent them your way. Bear roses in that country. That's cool.
Okay, go. All right, here.
Thumper says the Jehovah's Witnesses don't ride the bicycles or wear the white shirt. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're very nice. J. Russell Finch asked if the Raw would pick. Well, I hope so. I hope so. But he's apparently having a realization about that post.
I can't. I can't believe he deleted his whole channel. Hey, sweetie.
Indirect Connection says good night, busy. Yeah, this live was just going to be a Freestyle Friday live, and then I had this come up today, and I thought, well, we'll invite Dan on in case people have questions or whatnot.
Yeah, here he is.
Southern Snake Dancers. You know, Cope, the Jolo, West Virginia Snake Handling Church is in the county next to the county I'm from. It's in a bordering. I've never been there. It sounds fascinating. But there have been news people go there over the last 30, 40 years, and it is for real. They really do handle poisonous snakes. And occasionally one gets bit and gets really, really sick, and a few have died. But as a point of pure curiosity, I would love to see that. Guys, I don't know. I've been here. I've been live. Blake loves snakes. Got it. Snakes don't really bother me. I'm not, I've let, little constrictors, little ones, crawl on my arm and stuff. I've done that. They're just,
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, where was that doing? Oh, yeah.
I have no idea.
Danny Boyd I'll handle a cobra straight out of metal. Yeah. Some of them are. Or even fiberglass. Yeah. Probably more of those for sure. Nick says I'm desensitized to snakes. I was married once. Thumper likes snakes because they're natural mouse traps. Lori's World is here. Daddy's Money Garage. Oh, awesome.
Daddy Money Garage. What's up?
Awesome. What do you think about that?
Can't be too crazy now, though.
Whoa.
I know. You're tired.
Yeah, I don't run over a snake on purpose. I have hit one on accident, I'm pretty sure, but I wouldn't hit one on purpose. Car Willie, you got 25 ticks on Monday? Where in the world were you? You got 25 ticks.
Ugh, ticks. Can't stand.
My goodness. Yeah, Daddy's Money Garage, you've been hoodwinked, maybe. Who knows? I got 8 ticks one time. I was taking a class on, all kinds of goofy stuff like, edible stuff in the wild, edible plants, best ways to hide, use your surroundings and stuff. And so we had a thing where we were challenged to find the best hiding spot we could. I got 8 ticks doing that under a log, but it was worth it. Wayne County, West Virginia, never got more than 3 before. I found 2 of them in my shirt collar this year, but that's it. Oh, Austin, go to your favorite channel on YouTube. Go to it.
Attempt to go to it.
Go to it. Old 8 ticks, John, they call him. Now, this was after college.
What's the gummy bears?
Could you try to play a little bit? Maybe play some Barbies?
Why?
No reason.
Huh?
No reason.
I'm telling you, Austin, go to your favorite channel.
But then I have to see this.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm just seeing all this right now. Well, you know what? You don't have to worry about telling him, Dan. I'm sure word will get around.
Telling who what?
Telling Tony about it. Don't worry.
Oh, I think he already knows.
Don't worry. That'll sort itself out. Yeah.
What are all his people going to do without him there, though?
Well,
There's going to be no structure.
One thing I would hope they would do is admit that they were praising somebody who they shouldn't have been. I would hope that.
I mean, you could hope that, but what's your realistic point of
No,
view?
probably not.
Yeah.
I remember all these things, such a messenger of truth that we only talk about the truth here, and then his people would come in, hey brother, hey, you deal in the truth here, and we only talk about the truth and calling people out and setting the record straight and all that chatter. I wonder what they're going to say now.
Well, you know what? That's why
they'll probably just sweep that under the rug.
That's why I put right on the end his own words. Well, boy, I think the internet just, all these people come out with like cockroaches, the scammers, this and that. But yeah, you don't say.
No, Daddy's Money Garage, he did not. That's the whole point. Well, maybe he did, but he didn't crash Jeff Allen's car in 2012.
Nope.
Daddy's Money Garage. I always get fussed at whenever I say things here. So you know what? We're going to let Professor Harbor Freight, since we're an hour and a half in, we've got new people in here. Professor Harbor Freight, take it from the top, beginning at 10 minutes before this live.
Well, two completely separate cases, right? I had seen, Brian Cabral, Uncle Brian, right? He had crashed his 76 Zeo, whatever, Corvette. He had a community post about it yesterday. Well, I shared it because it was a horrible thing, right? God, yeah. I want as many people to see that as possible. Because, hot rods, nice weather, whatnot. We're all going to be out on the road, right. Well, then a separate case, Jeff Anderson, he crashed a Corvette just like it, almost the exact same crash to a T, picture-wise, back in 2012 in Florida. Completely, whole article on it. So I use those two incidences as an example to warn people, we got to be safe. Well, then, my kiddo pointed out the fact that that's the same picture. No, couldn't be. It was the same
Russell
picture.
Finch, if you look at my thumbnail, that might have already happened.
Yeah. So, long story short, Brian did not actually own the Corvette that he claimed he crashed in his community post. And all I did was simply point that out.
Yeah, so Austin, watch the premiere that was 10 minutes before this live on New Guys Garage channel. It's a short video, it's 6 minutes, and go watch it.
What?
It's your door. Yeah.
No, Theater 38 POS racing, it's fine, but it's just gone on for years and years. And I'll tell you, it's tough when there's people, stabbing you behind your back, and caught up to this guy. I will say that I'm satisfied if it's not, the stuff is done, right? Fine. I take no joy from it, but I'll tell you one thing. I laughed really hard So what I got, let's see. Oh my goodness. Looks like he might have another channel he's doing now or something. Like he's got
Oh.
him.
Started over, huh?
Maybe. Because you got to remember, when you make 1,200 videos and you say all this stuff, you probably can't remember what all was fake in there. So there's probably.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's fine. If you want to start a new channel, that's fine. Just don't post anything that's fake on it. That's all I ask.
yeah. 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 If he's going to start over, just remember that old stuff isn't all gone. One channel's a fake. Yeah, I know which one it is. There's a channel called Brian Cabral's Missing Toothbrush.
Oh, well, that's good. Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, I seriously want all that to just go away. I have so much fun with this, but I will admit I laughed pretty hard because what I was trying to look at, my phone is lit up, by the way.
Oh, really?
This morning, at some crazy o'clock hour. Yeah, this morning at 7:47, let the games begin. I started getting messages. So.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a toothbrush rather than teeth brush. Yes.
That's a tooth.
But nah, we're moving along nicely over here, and I'm really proud of this community. It's done a pretty good job of policing its own ills, I will say, and it's really something to see.
I'm just happy I was able to serve this community well so far.
Dean Stevenson, no, we actually have irrefutable proof. Yes. Oh, and maybe now, that story might have changed in the last couple of hours, but no, we actually had clarifying questions to make sure his car, his wreck, his picture, and
you still have that one picture. You still have that one picture I sent you that he explicitly said my Z07 or Z06.
Dean, if this was just a simple misunderstanding, I don't think anybody pulled their whole channel down over it. But no, it's not a simple misunderstanding. It's not.
It's a multiple offense almost, actually.
I mean, it's just again and again and again. I mean, here it is. And the picture of Jeff Allen's wrecked Corvette in December of 2012 in Key West, Florida, is on Uncle Brian's community tab that says, my first Z06, I got hit by a drunk driver in near my house by the beach. And he's posted this 2 times with similar captions. People asking in the comments if that was you. He said, I'm okay now. That was 6 years ago. There's no mistaking this. This is not mistaking. It's not just accidentally posting a similar. No, this is called getting caught.
Yep. In a big way. And you know what? Nobody calls you out on your own lies, and sooner or later your lies get more complacent to the point where, I mean, literally the top Google result, right? It didn't take me any time at all to find this article.
Oh, the Google image search is just all over the place with Corvette Forum, Jeff Allen, the news story, the other. I mean, everything.
Everything. It's well documented.
You had it in the
I had
Story.
I had his original post, and then the article took that original post and basically recaptured it. There were two different articles on it I used.
I'm not going to pile on. There's a whole lot of other things, believe me, that really
Yeah.
could be and should be said, but I'm not going to pile on. If it's over, it's over.
If it's done, it's done.
If it's not over, there's yeah.
Well, then we'll revisit it. But it.
Blake is saying thinking of running points this year. Blake, you thinking of running points this year in your dart? That'd be cool.
Yeah. Good old points.
I have gotten. I mean, you wouldn't believe my phone's lit up with people.
I bet.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Now we need. There's. I'll listen. I'm going to be merciful in this situation. I'm not. I don't need to pile on. If it's over, it's over. It's fine. Listen, I want it to be over. I wish that guy health and happiness and all of that stuff. But if it's over, it's over. If it's not over, then there's more.
If it's not, I mean, if anybody is listening in, anybody's listening in, there is plenty more.
Yeah, I would say for sure. He's almost certainly watching. Yeah. But, I mean, 1,000 swipes behind my back, and now I'm just kind of laughing at this one. So, yeah, it'll go away. Just keep moving forward. Yep, that's the best policy. Auto Salvage Outlaw says he is going live right afterward. Cool. Nice. So, Bad Tree Blake, you did all this cool stuff on your orange dart, and where does it stand right now? So, how close are you right now on your 68, Blake? That car, I got to tell you, when he first got it, there's so many states of things needing to be done. But those last few pictures we put up, sitting down on its wheels, assembled, sitting there, and it's like really looking like a complete car now. It's like the first time I've ever seen it that they didn't have everything open working on it. So it's really wicked looking now.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see that car go out and get some shakedown runs.
That'll be awesome. I'm anxious to see what what the Chambler is going to be like when that's finally
done. That's cool.
This percent is putting in some hard work trying to piece that thing together.
Blake said it's breaking up at 2,000 to 3,200. You don't have the problem Hippie had last year, do you? Yeah, Dust Devil. No, I really don't. I don't have any ill will like that. I really don't.
No.
We had a guy that used to. He was all about just trying to build a monetized channel, and he was doing stuff, and a lot of people blocked him for different reasons. I don't wish that guy any ill. I even told him I'm still willing to help him get his engine together that he claims has been running this whole time, and we know hasn't. I don't have any ill will like that. I would love for that guy to get a victory in his life and have it together and running and be happy. Really. I mean, how does that guy being happy take anything away from me? No, it's great.
Yeah, I have nothing against Brian Cabral. I mean, what do you want to do on his own times? What do you want to do? None of my business. Yeah,
really,
I just take it as a situation by situation basis, right?
Yeah, I don't.
I sincerely hope, he starts anew.
Blake says that car pulls hard after it gets past that. Yep. Cool. You don't have a vacuum leak, do you? I know that was kind of getting on Ryan from Streetcar Chronicles. Then Hippie had that was causing it to break up a little bit. So y'all figure it out. Mopars, Mustangs, and Minivans. Damien says, from now on, I'm calling Dan the Eraser.
If anybody's got any trolls they need taken care of, yeah.
Um,
Do you like my little ending there?
this is for real, just so you can see here. That's how Dan is in my phone, for real.
Yep, right there.
And you see the picture? That's you in front of Harbor Freight.
Complete Photoshop, by the way. Complete Photoshop. That one actually was.
We want to congratulate Road Beer Garage for 500 subs. Road Beer was
Hey.
at something like 438, and then just soared past 500. Right? We didn't get able to get him on live or anything. It was wild.
Oh.
It was great.
That's awesome.
Congratulations,
Dude. It always feels good once you crest that, achievement. Now you can focus on the next one.
Unfinished project says, since we're clearing the air, I don't think Dan is a real professor. I don't know. I think Dan can teach people some things. Bad Tree says, I think it's the electric advance. What do you mean by that? Is it just in the ignition box? The best nicknames come from other people. The only nicknames come from other people.
You can't make up a nickname. No. Whatever nickname sticks is just what nickname sticks.
I gotta tell you, when YouTube isn't a thing anymore, and it's just like this defunct thing like AOL or something, I'm sure I'll still call Blake Bad Tree Blake. I mean, that's Bad Tree Blake. And when YouTube is long gone, I'm sure I'll still call Joe just Mobar Joe. Anybody else have anything? I know we've just been kind of a wild freestyle, different kind of live.
Yeah. All right, suppose we got a bunch of new people in since last time. You mind if I plug New Guys?
You can
Guitar?
plug anything you'd like. I'm just checking to see if there's anything I need to plug. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, New Guys Guitar, my brother Tom, right? His channel. He makes music, right? And I use his music. 6% uses his music. A couple channels do.
Yeah.
If you need non-copywritten music for your channels, something you can use and not have to worry about, you can go to New Guys Guitar. I'm going to make a playlist. I still have to make it, but just scroll through any music that he has on there. Free to use. All we ask is just, you give a little thing like from New Guys Guitar, right?
Yeah.
At the end.
Just credit.
It's
be
credit.
cool like that.
Yeah. And just email me at newguysgarage@gmail.com. Email me the name of the title of the song, and I'll just email it to you, the downloadable file, and you can use it. So, yeah, I mean, that's just, to help out the community, because music is kind of tough on YouTube. Really is.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. He says, I set up a memorial until the end of time on our community tab. Let's go pay your respects accordingly. Somehow I knew Austin could do something like that.
I'll be sure to drop by and pay my respect. Poor guy. I didn't want him to delete his whole channel. I just,
Bad Tree.
Maybe an apology video or something.
Bad Tree. Check out Tom's channel, New Guys Guitar. He's
Yeah.
a cool guy.
Hey, he's in the running for, he's in the running for 500. So he's got 160 right now. If he gets it, he's going to race the U-Haul.
Oh, yeah, he's got it.
Which is going to dominate the bracket race.
You have to remember, these guys that don't have 500 subs, they didn't get all their talent when they declared for the No Name Nationals. They had their talent, they've been working on their talent since they were born, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, exactly.
Tom actually played. I mean, he was in bands that he was actually pretty good, but life happened to the other band members.
It's like I tell people, they think that we start working on cars as soon as we start doing YouTube cars. That's not the case. Like a lot of people don't know unless they've been around a while. Blake is a bracket champion. Bad Tree Productions. Blake's a legit bracket racer. He's won races. He's won championships. But again, if you've only been around YouTube a year or two, you might not know that, right? So there's a lot of talent in our community with things people just might not know.
I mean, anybody can make a YouTube channel.
Right.
Everybody's got some talent, something that they're good at doing. Even if it's just telling jokes, everybody has something they can make a YouTube channel with. Yeah. I mean, I'm a car channel, but it's half cars, half comedy for me. Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, yeah, this was fun and unplanned. I doubt that at the beginning of the day, Professor Harbor Freight knew that we would have him on the Friday night, and I'm glad to have you on the Friday night. I was planning to at some point anyway.
Yeah,
so it's worked
glad
out.
you asked me. Appreciate it. Heck yeah.
Danny Boyd says my cat has a YouTube channel. Yeah,
that's a good YouTube channel. That's the original YouTube channel.
Right. 38 POS Racing was taking his high chair apart when he was sitting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. See, Nick the Van Man 90, he was doing stuff, building stuff long before YouTube.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who might be new to the platform, but they are not new to the hobby.
No. Well, that's the thing. YouTube is taking your pre-existing hobby and doing something useful with it. Well, something else with it, right?
Don, let it die if he does. Let it die if he does.
Right.
There is more where that came from if it doesn't.
Yeah, he's.
Whoa, look at this. Dakota says, I think Cabral deleted his Facebook accounts too.
It might be the best thing for him.
It might be. What I gotta say, to get out of that, corralling people over a hatred of other people they don't even know. I can't help but think there's something better to do with your life than that. So.
Exactly. And you know what? The people surrounding the poor guy, right? I'll extend an olive branch here. The people surrounding this poor guy, right? They might be keeping him in this situation, right? He gets, feedback from them. He gets tunnel vision. These are the people he wants to be around. It's just like being around a bad group of people. Maybe he just needs to get away from it.
You know what, Dan? None of them are blocked over here, and none of them are commenting. Did you notice that? I guess they don't know what to say.
They might be in shell shock, or they might be bombarding my channel right now, and I don't know it because that's my phone. But bring them on. That's all right.
Well, like I said, if it's over, it's over. Good. Fine. I don't need to pile on.
Nope.
But
done.
I am I'm just really happy that of all you guys are here. Love the community we have. It is the best on YouTube. You guys truly are the best. It's the quality of character we have, the talent. There's so much talent in this community too. I mean, man.
Absolutely. I mean,
yep.
Yeah,
exactly, Ron. Let it be gone. That's right.
And this is, it's fun when you can get this many channels together and just have fun.
Yep,
that's what it's about.
Totally agree. And I'm going to encourage you guys too. You do your own lives, do your own thing, and all that. I get that, but I would encourage you to do the same. If he's done, then just let it go.
Yeah,
I would encourage that. There's no reason to pile on. If it's done, it's done.
Yeah, please, nobody go after them. We don't need anything else. No. If he comes back, don't worry. All right.
So
fake news.
Right. Yeah.
It was fake news. It actually was fake news.
After years of swipes taken at me, I don't care. Lots and lots of swipes taken at you guys. I do care about that, but if it's over, it's over.
if it's done, it's done. It's don't need to go any further than this.
Nick the Van Man 90 says, I'm doing this in the No Name Nationals for fun. Absolutely. That is the reason
Right.
to do it. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, I've never done Facebook. I don't want that to be a bottomless pit of, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Facebook, but I don't check it. The channel technically has a Facebook, but
Travis, if you want to know what's up, go watch New Guys Garage's latest video. It premiered 10 minutes before this live.
mm,
New Guys Garage latest video premiered 10 minutes before this live. Thumper says, my whole channel is just things I like and want to share. That's awesome. That's what YouTube is supposed to be about.
that's right.
And really, that's what this channel is. I just want to come and hang out with you guys. And I do. Yeah, this community's got so much great stuff.
And anybody can do it. Anybody can be a part of it. Anybody can have a YouTube channel. You don't need anything special. Just a cell phone and some inspiration.
Facebook is only good for marketplace. That is the only thing that remotely tempts me about Facebook. But it's probably better that I don't have it. Greg says, I still have a MySpace but can't remember the password. It's funny. I used an old MySpace account to find a deadbeat debtor in Oregon one time. She went to Oregon and had this MySpace account she abandoned. And that's how I found her on the other side of the country and got a judgment on her. Oh, man, now you can't see Marketplace. You don't, because people will send me links to stuff on Marketplace occasionally. So now I guess they can't. It's okay.
Most of my stuff is built with Marketplace.
I miss the old trade papers, the paper ones.
Yeah. Even Craigslist is not even that good anymore. Used to do a lot of Craigslist, but it just, I don't know.
New Guys Guitar says, I'll have a new episode of how my job's trying to kill me soon. Danny, let me guess Portland. No, it wasn't Portland. She was in Tazewell County. She stole a car from me, believe it or not. Hid it at her aunt's, and she fled with some internet boyfriend out to Oregon. And I found her out there, and I waited until she got on the bus to go out there to get her served. So she didn't make it back for court, and I got a default judgment. But it all started with her lying, stealing a car from me, and hiding it at her aunt's. I found the car at the aunt's, and I said, you can make this easy on your niece. I can just repossess it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you're not doing her any favors trying to deny it. So I left peaceably, but she got a big judgment on her. And, oh, well. Mm-hmm. All she had to do was just be honest about it. We weren't talking about a lot of money.
Yeah, you reap what you sow in life.
Thumper says Craigslist doesn't allow you to sell vehicles or parts in the Upper Peninsula. Why?
What?
Huh.
That
seems
doesn't
weird.
make any sense.
No, Cabral's not. That's not it. My real name is an unfinished project, but it's close. Near Rose City here. I don't know where that is. Greg McDonald, where is that? You say near Rose City here. Where is that? Well, where we went overtime, we're coming up on our 2-hour mark, but where I was a little bit late getting started, I need to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank the mods who are in here. Appreciate you guys. You are a great help to me getting up links and making sure everything runs smoothly. But I want to thank Dan of New Guys Garage. It was just kind of a spontaneous thing. I said, you're welcome to jump in here since there's, probably going to be a little bit of buzz about that video.
Yeah.
And
I'm
yeah,
glad
just
to hear.
thank all you guys for hanging out with us on a Friday.
Yeah, appreciate all you.
Yep, been a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll plan to see you all again on Friday. Take care. Oh, I got some guests coming up too. Trying to pin one down. I should be live from North Carolina here in a couple of weeks, so you won't want to miss that. And I'll be letting you know as I book them. But I got 2 good guests that I'm pinning down. You'll see the live. I'll start it early when they are scheduled. But anyway, I'll see you guys again soon. Definitely next Friday. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Don't forget to watch the video last put up by New Guys Garage at
If
7:50
you got time,
time. Make sure to catch that.
if you got time, yeah, appreciate you.